Hi, this is Justin with More Business Today. In this video, I'm going to cover search engine optimization. I'm going to cover some specifics, specifically how to do the title and meta tags for your site and for your individual pages. So for the site, which is the default title and description tag, if you don't change it, for a given page. Each page should have its own, but the site settings, under site settings as SEO, and you have the title, which is important, and it gives you a little bit of information here. Needs to be about 55 characters. It doesn't tell you the number of characters on that. The site description it needs to be 150 characters. Meta keywords, I'm going to recommend that you don't add. You can add them if you really want to, but the key element on that is that like Google doesn't pay attention to them at all, except if you have a keyword in this keyword list that isn't on your site, isn't on the page that it's specifically that the keyword tag is on, and then they may ding you for it. They may reduce your listing. So this is a good place to add just a general keyword. You want to have your business name or site name, and you want to have your site like I would have web designer or web design if it wasn't already there. So for me, it would be Justin's web design, and then Beaverton. That's what I would do for just a general title. And then a description, add in a description. And again, you want to include your keyword. So in my case of web design, your core keyword, and then your location. That information should be in your page too. So that's something important to note. And then once you have that, save. That gives you just the default, but what you really want to have is when you go to pages, you can hit the gear for each one and do SEO and settings, because your title and your description need to match the content of the page. So you don't want to have a title and description that doesn't match whatever page it is. So a lot of times the home page is a general page, with the business. But again, you'd want to have preferably you would want to have an H1 tag. So we get a little deeper into this. We'll do add element, and then we do large title. I'm going to put it right here in between. Oh, it dropped it. That's fine. And I'd have it be like Justin's web design in Beaverton. And then I'm going to drag it into a new row. Here's an interesting thing that I've seen happen before. If you add an element into a narrow column, sometimes it'll maintain that that size, and the easiest way to solve that is to just delete it and add it again. I just copied the text first. The easiest way is to avoid the problem in the first place, but why the heck is it dropping it down there? Just one of these things where it's starting to get late. Things are going wrong. Okay. So finally. So anyhow, highlight and paste plain text. See, now I would have an H1 tag that says Justin's Web Design in Beaverton, and then I'd have a this would be a description about it, about my business. And so when I do the title and description tag, to go back to that, pages, gear, next to the page you want to do, SEO, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the title match the title of the page, so and then with my keyword. So let's say it's the About Us page or services. Then a lot of times I'll do services, Justin's Web Design, Beaverton. I'll probably leave it at Beaverton because it's pretty long. And then you'd have whatever your first paragraph is, which also should contain your keyword for that. Then you'd use that in here. You know, drop it down to about a couple sentences that contain your keyword and are interesting because you're trying to get people to read the page. The title and description tags, when you go to Google, let's say you look up Beaverton web design, then the title is here and the description shows here most of the time. So that's how title and description, that's what Google will pull. Now if your description is way off base for the page, then Google might make its own decision and not use it. But assuming that it matches, then a lot of times that's what will be there. And so that's those are the SEO tags. There's a lot to SEO, and SEO is, I should have said this at the beginning, SEO is search engine optimization. If you're watching the video, you probably are specifically looking for information about that, but SEO is search engine optimization, and there's a lot to it, but those title tags and description tags are really important. It's important that all your pages not have the same, that you don't have duplicate titles and descriptions, and so it's important to craft those titles and descriptions carefully, to use both your keywords and then also similar keywords, and as far as your content goes, I wouldn't spend a ton of effort on it if you're dealing with a page that has less than 350 words on it. If it has less than 350 words, Google really doesn't consider it as good content usually, and so that's kind of a threshold that you want to be aware of when you're adding content. And that's adding the meta tags and meta and title tags to your site. And thank you very much.